Well, hello. I'm Matt Williamson. 10 minutes ago, I just recorded a podcast about the Steelers acquiring Jalen Ramsey, not knowing any of the details. So, as I basically finished, Tom Pelissero reports Dolphins have agreed to trade Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and a 2027 seventh for Minkah and a 2027 fifth. Wow. That changes things. However, I don't know if, I'll be honest, I'm a little scattered here. I don't know if the podcast I just recorded will ever get posted or not. Focus on Ramsey. And I got to be brief, unfortunately. He's still a great player. He fills in exactly what you need on defense, in that he is a phenomenal slot. He can play outside corner. He's been used all over the line of scrimmage, or near the line of scrimmage. I think someday he will be a phenomenal safety. Thus, Minkah being gone. He can still follow outside corners. Maybe not to the degree that he did in his best days, because he hasn't done a ton of that. But still, let's stick with defense first here. This greatly implies to me that they are going to play a lot more cover 2, a lot more cover 4, a lot more. Vary their coverages a great deal. Minkah was the stud center field safety, and now you don't need that as much. You signed Elliott, Thornhill. You can always pick up another safety. Safeties are way easier to find, whether it's still for this year or down the road. I still think you're going to see a third linebacker on the field at times. Ramsey can do safety stuff. So I think there's no reason. I said this before I knew Minkah was gone. You should be you should now be the best defense in the league. Now without Minkah, I still think you should be one of the top 5, without question. And you have so much money that it doesn't bother me. I don't think this prohibits you from signing Watt at all. I bet that's happening soon. And the Ramsey money, him getting a boost apparently this year, implies that the Watt thing's coming and they'll open cap space by doing that. You can still cut Cordero Patterson and restructure a bunch of deals, and you have a ton of money next offseason. And the fact that you hardly gave up anything in draft compensation is great. 2027 fifth. You're not going to miss that. I assumed it would be like a 4th this year, straight up for Ramsey. But the Minkah part is obviously huge. So I think initial blush is your defense got better, but at a position that's harder to find in a more versatile piece. I don't think Minkah has been slipping as what people think, but I do think there's concern for both these players in terms of their age and wear and tear and things like that. But frankly, if you ask me, would I rather have Minkah on this team right now or Ramsey? Ramsey. Just because it's easier to team build around a safety need, which I don't think there's a need. But especially if you're going to play a lot more cover 4 and things of that nature. Which they absolutely will. And blitz a lot more. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. With the baseball season in full swing, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. We keep the dog days of summer rolling with the largest selection of odds on everything. With updated odds on the MLB, UFC, and boxing to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your best online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, the Jonnu Smith portion of it. I don't look at this as a reflection of Freiermuth's no good, or Parham got hurt, or Washington's not as good as Matt thinks he is. By the way, I've been clamoring for this Ramsey deal forever. Smith's just a weapon. He's super familiar with the system, obviously. Smith has followed Arthur Smith around now to 3 stops. Obviously, the personality thing gels in a big way. Great. He's considered a high-character guy. Okay. He's a field-stretching tight end. that I think you'll almost always have 2 or 3 tight ends on the field now. That definitely implies that. With this move, I'm fine with just signing Gabe Davis or some one other wideout without investing heavy at the wide receiver position. I think they're just going to do things differently on offense. And we can fight about if that's how it should go or not, but I think Rodgers will orchestrate that really well. You're going to see a lot of heavier personnel. It should help in the run game with that kind of, numbers at tight end. I don't know what the snap counts will look like between those 3. I don't think Freiermuth's on the move or anything like that. That would shock me. But you got another weapon that can stretch the field, middle of the field player. He can detach. It's an unconventional way of playing football. I 100% agree on that. And we'll see. I need time for this to sink in, to be honest. This is all brand new. But the draft pick compensation means nothing. They're definitely going to lose in the salary department with this trade, but they have so much of it to gain, and they have tons of picks and cap room for next year, so that doesn't worry me at all. I think you got better on defense. You definitely got better on offense. I would still like to add another receiver, but I like the 2 players they added in a vacuum quite a bit, first of all. I don't like losing Minkah. I mean, there's no question about that. But what he does is easier to replace. And boy, this just screams that they're going to change how they play defense, which, to be honest, the little I saw at minicamp and things like that, I kind of knew was coming anyways, with or without Minkah. And I like that part of it a lot. You need to be less predictable on defense. So overall, I'm pretty enamored by this overall. I mean, it's hitting me hard. When I just saw it was Ramsey, I assumed it was Ramsey for a pick. That made a little more sense. But you get both these players, you got a lot better today. And I don't think it hurts you at all in the big picture and building the nest for next year's quarterback. You didn't give anything up, and you still have a lot of resources. All right, everyone. Thanks. I'll talk to you.